stacking these Iroan games in. It's really gonna help. Oh, there's our trample as well. Loving it! Sacrificing our gold counter, which was created by one of the other Iroan games. And of course, we get a draw. We get a +1. Smash in for a ton of damage. There could be an unsummon, right? I'm talking about it way too much this match for it not to happen at some point. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. I apologize for the poor quality the past few days. I think we got it sorted. Let me know, obviously, if there's ever any issue, reach out and we will fix it as soon as possible. Today, we're playing an Abzan Enchantments deck called Spear of Destiny that revolves around Calix, Destiny's Hand, which is a legendary planeswalker from Theros Beyond Death. Comes into the battlefield with 4 loyalty. The +1 ability lets you dig looking for an enchantment card from among the top 4 cards of your library, putting it into your hand, which is awesome. -3 is an exile, and the exiled permanent goes on, or underneath, I should say, one of your enchantment cards. So you have to already have something on the battlefield for your -3 to target, both his and yours. So there's a little bit of a stipulation there, and then if that thing gets removed, they're going to get that exiled permanent back. So that's kind of risky. Make sure that they don't have any enchantment removal. And of course, -7, return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's just, generally pretty cool. And then of course we have the Spear of Destiny itself. Elspeth conquers death. I know this is supposed to be Shadow Spear, but both ECD have this spear in the art, as well as Calix. As far as I'm concerned, it looks, well, actually, no, maybe not. Maybe Calix's is more of like a blade, but regardless, that's what I based it on. In my imagination, they're the same. So, this deck does revolve around just stacking enchantments, utilizing the Constellation mechanic, which is also from Theros. Whenever you play an enchantment, it will trigger the Constellation, and each Constellation from another creature does a different thing. This deck specifically is playing with Setessan Champion, which is a 1/3, and whenever you cast an enchantment, whenever it enters the battlefield, so it does have to be, enter freely, it can't be countered, but you get to put a +1/+1 on Setessan Champion and draw a card, which is very, very cool. So, those are our main cards, and of course, Archon of Sun's Grace, I guess, as well. Also having Constellation, and whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying, and then it will give all of your Pegasus a lifelink. So, that's some great sustainability, especially in this best of 1 standard 2021 meta. There is a lot of mono red burn, and this is a great way to deal with it. Just put too much life on, and then, they burn their hand out, and you go from there. So if you find any value within this video, I really would love a thumbs up. It looks great blue. You're helping support the channel grow. The engagement goes up randomly. Like every thumbs up, I'm sure I'll get another 100 views. It's crazy how that piles on. And if every one person within 100 gives the thumbs up, that just keeps going and going and going. So that would be amazing if you find any value within the video, right? Just don't hesitate. Smash that like button now. And if you really want to go above and beyond, subscribe to the channel, LOL. Anywho, into the deck list, we're going to break it down in its entirety. We've got 4 copies of Aphemia, the Cacophony. Pardon my pronunciation here. You can correct me, and I'll do my best to figure it out as we go. This is a 2/1 with flying, and at the beginning of your end step, you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So, it's a 2/1 for 2. Not that great. It has evasion, so, the base stats are actually generally common, I guess, to have a 2/1 flyer for 2, but it's this passive ability of at the beginning of your end step, exiling an enchantment card from your grave to create the 2/2. When we have an enchantment based deck, that's absolutely awesome. We should be creating almost a free 2/2 every turn potentially. So that's a great engine. Setessan's Training. This is a enchantment aura. Enchanted creature you control gets +1/+0 and has trample. And then when Setessan's Training enters the battlefield, we will draw a card, which is quite nice as well. So even if it does get removed, it replaces itself. Warbriar's Blessing ×4, another enchantment aura. Enchant creature you control. When the blessing enters the battlefield, enchanted creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. And of course, enchanted creature gets +0/+2. Into our 3 drops, 4 copies of the first Iroan games. This is a saga, so when it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human creature token on the following upkeep. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. On the next upkeep, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw 2 cards. And now that's really, really good. And then on the final upkeep, create a gold token and sacrifice the Iroan Games. And the gold token is an artifact in which you can sacrifice to add a mana of any color to your pool. So no, this is really good because of the draw. The drawback, no pun intended, is that your opponent has a chance to remove the 1/1 soldier that you created pretty easily. And if you don't have any other creatures on the field, then that draw, that third trigger of it is just going to fizzle, and that's pretty sad. Luckily, we have lots of more draw in the deck, like Setessan's Champion, a 1/3 with Constellation. We talked about this a little bit. And whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Setessan's Champion and draw a card. So typically, auras have negative value, but with this Constellation effect, when we play Warbriar's Blessing, it immediately will replace itself. So there's not too much negative card advantage being offered up to your opponent, which is good. Banishing Light, an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. So this is pretty similar to Calix's -3 ability, and a great target for Calix's -3 ability as well. Into our 4-drops, we've got 4 copies of Archon of Sun's Grace. This is a 3/4 with flying and lifelink. Pegasus creatures you control have lifelink. Constellation, whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. 4 copies of Calix, Destiny's Hand. We talked about this already. A legendary planeswalker coming in with 4 loyalty +1. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an enchantment card from among them. Put that card into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. -3, exile target creature or enchantment you don't control until target enchantment you control leaves the battlefield. -7, return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Of course, for 5, we have to have 4 copies of Elspeth Conquers Death, another saga. When it enters the battlefield, exile target permanent and opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. On the following upkeep, non-creature spells your opponent casts cost 2 more to cast until your next turn. And on the following upkeep, the third trigger on this is return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on it or a loyalty counter on it, respectively. I guess depending on, of course, whether it's a planeswalker or a creature. These spells are accompanied by 7 plains, 2 swamps, 7 forests, 4 Indatha Triomes, and 4 Fabled Passages. Standard 2021 Q does not have traditional supported, so no sideboard, no best of 3 today. Just playing best of 1. And when you guys are playing best of 1, throw a lot of life gain in there. People love to abuse aggro decks in best of 1. That's easily mitigated through cards like Archon of Sun's Grace, which is so awesome, and even the removal of Warbriar's Blessing. So that's just a quick tip before we get too in-depth here, but we should have started and ended with that. So let's talk about this deck strategies and synergies now that we're familiar with all of the cards in the deck. We talked about the draw engine from Setessan's Champion. Whenever we play an enchantment on top of Setessan's Champion, which is our training, our blessing, our games, our banishing light, even more champion. Oh no, sorry. This is not an enchantment creature, but the Cacophony is an enchantment creature. So even when we play certain creatures, it will trigger Setessan's Champion. It doesn't have to be an enchantment card like Warbriar's Blessing. It can be an enchantment creature, like those hybrid cards like the Cacophony. So that's really, really cool to not only get a creature on the battlefield, but to have it draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on another creature. So literally the entire deck is enchantment except for Calix, except for the Archon, and except for Setessan's Champion. Everything else is an enchantment or an enchantment creature. So you can see how easy it's going to be to get these triggers to pop off. So as far as your draw hand goes, Setessan's Champion, that is a huge plus in your opening hand. That's almost an auto keep, especially if you have the land to play it. Same thing goes with your Archon of Sun's Grace. We can basically deduce that 65% plus of the matches that we're going to play are against aggro decks. If we can open this with our hand, play it on turn 4, we're laughing. If they don't have the removal, we've already burnt it out. We're in a really, really good place to just kind of stabilize and take the match from there once their hand is burnt out. And then we do have a lot of removal as well. Warbriar Blessing is hitting basically all of the creatures. Elspeth Conquers Death hits everything that's not a creature. And then the same goes for Banishing Light. Obviously, I do like to prioritize the creature removal with the Blessing because it can only hit creatures. And then the Elspeth Conquers Death and Banishing Light have an option to hit, creatures, enchantments, artifacts, any non-land permanent, right? So I like to make sure that we're saving these for those specific cards that we can't deal with in any other way, unless there's a card in the field that has a massive negative effect to us. Even Calix's -3, exile target creature or enchantment you don't control. So really, really prioritizing, the Elspeth Conquers Death and Banishing Light on even more so the artifacts, because if you think of it, it hits everything 3 and up. Hits everything in general. Hits everything that's a creature or enchantment. Hits every creature. So try to prioritize those removals on the appropriate part. So for example, it would be silly to Banishing Light something like an artifact with a mana cost of 4 when you could have hit it with your ECD, because afterwards they could have played an enchantment with a Lucky Clover with a converted mana cost of 2, and now your ECD can't hit that card, your Calix can't hit that card, your Warbriar's Blessing can't hit that card, and you just use your Banishing Light on a card that those other cards could have dealt with. So I hope that helps you kind of understand prioritizing your removal on the appropriate cards of your opponent. All right, so that's that. The Iroan Games is an amazing draw engine. It has the ability to draw you 2 cards. Plus, if you have Setessan's Champion in play, it will draw you an additional card. So that is a potential 3-card draw for 1. Plus, you get a token that can become a 4/4, and you get a ramp token later on. So a lot of value within the Iroan Games, especially when played on the Champion. Of course, all of our removal is enchantment-based. Triggers the Champion, triggers the Archon. It's just great times to be had. Our opponent has blockers. We get trample through Setessan's Training. We have chump blockers through the Cacophony. It can create those zombies, block everything that doesn't have trample. Maybe we even attack with them if the situation permits it. That's it. Elspeth Conquers Death can bring back something from her graveyard. Prioritize your Archon of Sun's Grace, your Setessan's Champion, and your Calix Destiny's Hand. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The rest is support. A very basic deck to play, and a lot of fun. Quite powerful in the current meta as well, actually. So that's it, you guys. Before we get into today's gameplay footage, I have to ask you one more time to like, comment, subscribe. At the very least, that is the least you could do, you guys. I'm sure you've been enjoying yourself so far. So I really appreciate your time and attention, and those of you who have been supporting the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure to watch this gameplay footage to the very end so you don't miss out on my final thoughts. We're talking about the deck, we're talking about Zendikar pre-release, lots of exciting news coming up, so don't miss out and enjoy. The land here isn't really comforting. We're gonna toss that. This looks better slightly. Tossing our Elspeth. It's too expensive right now. With the new Jace sleeves out. Excited for Zendikar. A little too excited almost. We will pull a Plains. I mean, it is tempting to pull Swamp, but I think we just really need to crush it to our Archon as fast as we can. We do have the Banishing Light on an Annex drop here, potentially. We need that 4th land, and it better be a Plains. Well, it's something. I wonder if it just gets bone crushed. Yep. Yep. Well, yeah. I mean, the Banishing Light's an enchantment. It can take the Bone Crusher Giant, so that's going to save us a decent amount of damage, but we're still getting hammered. Need that 4th land. Trying to push off our death as long as we can. Oh yeah. Phoenix in the house. Good for 2. 2 at a time is all that it really takes. We can use the gold token from the Iroan games to push out our Archon. And then as long as it can avoid removal and all that, should be good. I hope. Like, we've got Setessan's Training to drop on top. Oh, that's not nice. What do they take? Setessan's Champion. Nice. It's only our best card. Getting our lifelink creature in play, that's going to be helpful. Now, as long as we can survive another turn or 2. Wow. Stop it. They could have an Embercleave. That's game. Hit for 7, we gain 3 of it back. That's a lucky top deck. We should probably just take the Embercleave. Right? When you take the creature, the Embercleave goes to the side, but then they can re-equip it, which is, like, not okay. Let's get some more defenders out. The Cacophony is going to be able to exile stuff from our graveyard. And we should take some life gain here. 2 2s, a nice defender. I think we stabilized thanks to all of these Banishing Lights. Right? Bonecrusher Giant, Annex, Embercleave. Those are massive targets to hit. Alright, we have defenders. Full Calix. Good game. I was thinking we should just at least double block, right? This hand looks good if we can continue to pull land, right? That's going to be the big one here. You know, playing our Setessan's Champion on turn 3 is awesome, and then if we can get some removal going on after that, even better. That's our 3rd land. I love it. Thank you, Wizards. You know, it's them directly gave you that land. Like, you know what? Let's put a land on top for them. How cool are these sleeves, right? Oh. Collecting sleeves in Arena is, like, better than any card. You see it all the time. We can pull our 4th land. That would be cool too. Gosh, you there. Heartless Act. Okay. Weird flex, but okay. I get it. The draw engine. Oh, really? Take their draw engine away. Land here. Throw our Calix out. Oh, nice, dog. So this is really cool because when we minus our Calix, and if he does deal with our Banishing Light, they only get 1 Chevelle back because it's a legendary of the same type, and the legendary rule says they can only have 1. No enter the battlefield effect. Very nice stuff. That's a 2-for-1 special. Uh-oh. Bye-bye, Calix. Only we didn't have another. This guy's tough, though, is the thing. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can pull a land? No. That'd be cool if we did. We need the creature out so we can kill Garruk as soon as possible. Nice. That's -3 on us. Shoot!
I need them gone.
Nice. These planeswalkers are just gonna beat us. Wow, that begins to help. Oh man. This is so messed up. This is so messed up. We need another Elspeth Conquers Death off the top. Calix can search, and we can get there before it gets to its -6. Then we can somehow use the blessings? I don't know. This is messed up. 2 2/2s. Woof. Quite literally. A land? Awesome! Going for searchies. ECD off the top. Yeah.
Look skyward and receive the gifts of the gods.
Well, it's a big hit, right? And 2 more wolves. Right, that represents 8 damage on the field. Big woofs. We do get our Pegasi back. Whoa! I'm glad they did this now, not when we have Pegasi out. That's crazy, though. God. Oh, I thought it had Menace. Never mind. Nice. I love just a classic, weird Golgari deck. Like, it's good. Great amounts of fun. Take our dig here. Elspeth Conquers Death would still be pretty cool. Wow, this is actually gonna.
I am blessed by Nyx.
We should still take the Garruk as a priority.
I'm gonna go hunt something else.
The fight's not going to help us any. We need to make that Archon bigger first. We're holding on. We dealt with those 2 huge Garruk Planeswalkers. We have lots of removal. And we survive a little bit longer. No! We cannot. Good game, bro.
Is a chance to fail.
Yeah, it's respectable. Double Chevelle animation? Nice. That was totally worth it just for that. How'd you come back from this? This is still a match somehow. Let's see what we pull. Game. Let's show ourselves out. Ugin! Ugin! Typically, great hand. 2 Pegasi, but we have a Cacophony, which we're not going to get to play because we're pulling up planes with our passage so we can hopefully drop our Archon on time. It just feels weird. Mulligan. Land's a little bit better. We can toss our Calix. ECD is just such high value. I know it's 5, it costs more. Typically, we always are throwing our highest converted mana cost spell back to the grave, but it's just so good. It's worth holding on to, I think. Calix does dig for ECD, but I don't know. We'll find more Calix. Let's just go for it. More Saltai. The Saltai pile is tough. You know, there's a lot of disruption here, a lot of removal. Woof. Curl back in play. Just what we like to see, right? Loving it. We can only assume there's going to be something nasty next turn. I really like Evolving Wilds, the Sacrifice. It's common, and if you run that in the Sacrifice decks, whew, it's like an additional Fabled Passage. It could be quite helpful sometimes. We pulled that another Calix when we threw the first away, so that's neat as well. Oof. Oof. Hey, well, it doesn't hit our Calix. That's something, I guess. We need to hold on to this ECD for after Uro. Let's start thinning our library.
I am born of Nyx, child of the stars.
For some reason, I feel like there was no swamps there. Am I going blind? Have we no swamps in the deck? I thought we had a few. There needs to be at least 1 or 2. 2 8 to extinctions. They tossed their own Ugin looking for land. They're really gonna appreciate this drop.
The selfish will be brought to order by my
I love when things replace themselves. So we know there's tons of removal. So we need to like match it. And yeah, look at this. No swamp. What kind of fool builds such an unbalanced deck? I must have changed it at the end on accident. Hey, we still are casting our 2 black spells. Single black spell, I guess, at this point. Just splashed. I guess that lands appropriate. We need 1 swamp in there. We'll be all set. Graveyard's at 8, so that's kind of unsettling. Take a little drawskis. My favorite card. 3 of a kind. We're going for a full house. That's going to be our primary goal here. Typically, there's enchantments and stuff in the grave that we're making zombies with, but we've been getting exiled instead. Bummer. Cultivate. 1 step closer to Ugin, baby. Casualties of war. Actually, no, we're in standard 2021. No casualties. That's nice. Okay, Uro. That's fine. He sees that we can smash it. Taking the draw. What are their kill commands here? Uro and Ugin? If we can deal with them all. Wow. How tempted are you? Just act accordingly. Save this for later. It's still a good card. Stacking more removal.
Clothis, show me my path.
What does Calix's minus even do? Return all enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. We have absolutely nothing. Going to the sideboard. Ooh. Ugin from the sideboard, baby. Coming at ya. Let's just keep a nice full hand, and then we can toss Ugin when it gets in. We've seen already one in the grave, which... Look at the art. Woof. One, two, three, four, five, 6 untapped lands still. They want to eat our hand. They need something like that. Gosh dang Necromantia. Brody. Gross, 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 gross. They're top decking. Good game. I mean, we're just thinking about it, but they don't really care for that, I guess. Too long. Didn't immediately just pummel us into the ground. Not enough land. That's in a theme here. Keep this. And I think... You toss an Archon? It's cool to stack, but it's cooler to curve. X. Maybe that's something we should have kept, seeing that they've dropped a mountain on us. Uh-oh. Okay, interesting. Doesn't matter what we pull here. Anything but a plains. And I guess we've not fixed our land from last match. I'll do that after this one. Put a single swamp and it doesn't really change the games much other than that passage can pull it. But we have the Triome anyway, so right. No harm, no foul. Hit for 3, next turn hit for 6. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Settle down there, boy. We want this Archon out as soon as possible. It can block the Riddle Forms. Bright Dragon in play. Big ouchies with the unsummon. Wow, we're getting hit for what, 6, 7, 8 here at least? Combo Wombo. That's insane. Very nice. This could be a free-to-play deck that we showcase, right? Wow. Getting blasted. What was that, 4 turns? Very nice. It's a pretty weird hand, but I think it's worth keeping. We can pull a creature. Perfecto. Hashtag Setessan Champion. Passage on turn 4. Got the swamps in the deck. Don't worry. Still chilling out. Hanging out, relaxing. Calix can hit. Hopefully there's no questing beast with haste type situation. You know what I mean? We don't even have to pull our swamp. We're gonna thin our library regardless. Playing out our second planes for later. Throw our first Calix into the bin. Can survive by 1 unless they, mutate or questing beast. We do have our first source of removal. Awesome. Not awesome. Okay, so Calix is gonzo and we get hit for what I hope is only 4. Yeah, okay. They just hit us for 9, that would be massive. Yeah, they're playing it smart.
Forgive my failure, Clovis.
Just take Yorvo. It's a non-legendary, so they could stack Yorvo. We took Questing Beast, they could just replace it. So if we don't take Questing Beast and there's another Questing Beast in their hands, that's really good. Oh, nice. So we have to take the Great Henge somehow before we get just obliterated. One, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yikes. We're not... Oh my gosh. Have to take the henge. It's so silly, but that's just it. We can chump block the ooze. I think, right? We get our Calix back. Calix can minus onto the questing beast. Oh, stop it. You are just too much. No more Calix. No more Aphemia. EC fizzles. I guess that was a misread on my play. My behalf. And we're dead regardless because we don't have double removal. Because no Calix now. Oh! Oh! We can chump block it. I guess.
You are all responsible for the damage to destiny. A punishment befitting of the crime.
We're holding on. Questing Beast and we lose. I can only imagine, right? Just another henge, no big D, no big D. We got nothing for them to take. They don't really have anything for themselves to take. We could double block. That's not the worst. Oh, of course not. They get to draw off of the henge and put a 5/5 into play. That's just absolutely amazing. Not good. Does help. But dang, it's a little late. Little late, man. How do we survive? We have one blocker, and he has something with Trample. We can play for 3 and have 3 left. We can only play 1. We already have a training, so we may as well take Elspeth Conquers Death.
Look skyward and receive the gifts of the gods.
If we need to take the Henge, but if we don't do something crazy, then we're just gonna lose. Thanks. Taking the Serpent because of the Trample. Oh no, it's X cost. We can't do that. Even though it was cast for more than 3, we still can't take it because X is actually equivalent to 0. Game. You fool. Alright. I mean, yeah, 2 Henges. Aggressive. Extra hard here as well. This hand looks so slow, but whatever. We can pull a creature, we're good to go. If not, our tokens can avoid removal. That'll be nice too. I got a bad feeling about the mulligan. I'll just only pull land. Wow. Landfall prep. Pretty great landfall deck for you guys. Okay, that could be much of a good thing for them, potentially. So our 1/1 token can 1/3 potential with a fight. That helps us remove one of their flyers, maybe? Hopefully they whiff and are stuck on land. Old-fashioned bricklayer over here. Masonry is a respected trait. Or a craft, I should say. LOL. 2 1/1s, that's fine. As long as there's no unsummon on our tokens, that would be harmful for my self-esteem. And we should probably just push in with Champion as well, right? Start thinning our library with Fabled Passages. Pulling a swamp here. Or, I guess... we can probably attack here, force the chump block. Unsummons the culprit here, the bad guy. Oh, that's basically an unsummon. Turn target creature card with converted mana cost. X or less to its owner's hand, obviously. Token, so it just gets blasted. Get hit for 3. Don't get the draw, which is actually kind of annoying for me. Just keep pushing it. Start removing these flyers, I guess. It's low value, but we get the draw, which is like... And I'm sure the chump block here is... Oh, wow, okay. You go up to 4, 5, 6, 7 available mana next turn. Good ECP with a blessing. We'll try to play our lowest mana cost cards first, and then just see what we get for the draw. Because you never know. Could be an Archon we want to play or something instead. Cycling for 3's aggressive. Right? The 2 1/1s plus 3 damage. That's something. Should be aware of this. Just remove Pyromancer. Stacking these Iroan games in. It's really gonna help. Oh, there's our trample as well. Loving it! Sacrificing our gold counter, which was created by one of the other Iroan games. And of course, we get a draw. We get a +1. Smash in for a ton of damage. There could be an unsummon, right? I'm talking about it way too much this match for it not to happen at some point. Maybe a variation on unsummon. Pouncing Shore Shark. Brazen Borrower's Petty Theft. Okay. I mean, we're still at 14, that's fine. We have a Calix as well. Good game. Woof. What did you guys think of the Spear of Destiny? Calix of Destiny's Hand. Elspeth Conquers Death. Pretty cool. It's Abzan. We're only running the Aphemia, and it just has such good value. How do you not run it? It's an artifact creature. Triggers the champion. Maybe we could fit some more in here. Potentially Demonic Embrace comes to mind, but Setessan's Champion is just, Setessan's Training is just so good because not only does it give us trample, but it draws a card, so it could potentially double replace itself, whereas, Demonic Embrace just goes to the grave, and we'll have to exile stuff, so I think that probably is a potential addition. It's hard though. What do you take out of this deck to put in Demonic Embrace? That's the question. Maybe an Iroan Games, maybe a Blessing, but it's so good to just have this removal always ready. It's almost better to hold field control and just bash out with trample when you need it than try to sneak in and get that aggro damage, because we're playing that control game, right? We're playing with all the exile. We're going super wide. We don't necessarily need just that huge damage output right away. But I think it's a cool idea and it could potentially work. So let me know what other black cards you would put in to this Abzan Enchantments deck. I would really like to, balance it a little bit. Not that it's not balanced, but I always love when I make a 3-color deck that, it's spread out evenly. It's not like, oh, there's one card of this color and one card of that color. I mean, it's fine. I shouldn't. That's OCD. Just forget about it. Anyways, the deck's baller. I had a great time with it. I hope you guys enjoy it. We are getting ready for Zendikar. We're so ready. We are excited. We've got our decks being built in the Discord. If you have any ideas, you want to see anything, join the Discord, reach out, and we're going to be showcasing footage for literally the entire day, as many hours as we can put in. I've rented an office space, which is cool. We're going to have a great connection for the stream. I'm going to bring not my laptop, which typically has been what I've been doing. I'm going to bring the big desktop. We're bringing everything in, probably not the desk, but regardless, we're going to have the whole studio set up. It's going to be awesome, and we are going to have an amazing time. So I hope you're ready. Book it in your calendars. I believe it is September 16th, and it starts just after my normal stream schedule, which is awesome. Just gives me enough time to get everything up and running. And that schedule is every day on YouTube at 6 a.m. At 7 a.m. we switch to Twitch, and then at 6 p.m. we're back on YouTube. All times are Mountain Standard Central, so if you don't want to do the conversions, I understand that. The Linktree link in the description below will open up, all of the different ways you can go to see my different stuff, the directory, if you will, or a table of contents. And you can follow us on Twitch, you can follow us on YouTube, and then you're just going to be notified. And then it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. You don't have to put any thought into it. Just click a couple buttons and progress with your day. We're also playing today using Magic the Gathering Arena tool. Check that out. It's the best Magic the Gathering Arena assistant you can get. Metagame analysis, deck write-ups, deck stats, videos by content creators like myself, and many others. So check it out. That is the Overwolf link in the description below. And of course, we've got hashtag HelloGoodGame, which will take you to all of my content. So don't be worried. Use hashtag HelloGoodGame on the comments of other creators. Am I right? LOL. If they'll allow it. I guess we don't want to be too aggressive with our growth plan. But I am a fan of the Matrix, and if we could Agent Smith into everybody's audiences, that would be awesome. Anyways, I appreciate your continued time and attention. If, this is your first time, I appreciate you as well. But, we've got such a great core audience supporting the channel. They've allowed me to go full-time, creating 2 videos a day for you guys. So really, really exciting stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm most appreciative, and I'm sure the other thousands of people are as well. Just for getting to enjoy the Magic the Gathering Arena content literally whenever they want. Thanks to you guys. So appreciate it. Enjoy your day, and we'll be back soon with another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Happy top decks.